I got 3 updates. My right knee is a little bit cooked, but I reckon I can get it back going. I was able to take some time off work, which in itself is a bit weird, especially as an adult. I've also been able to slightly improve my welding skills. Let's talk knees. I had annual leave for work, forced leave, so I was able to take a few days off. I took that time to go to the physio and get my knee checked out because it was playing up while I was playing basketball and all that stuff. And every now and then I would be stopped in my tracks because of how painful my knee was. So I thought, all right, I'll go get it checked out by a knee specialist. When I'd first got my knee injured, I'd went to the general physio and basically just took a look at my knee, said, yes, rest it, and you're going to be good to go. I'm like, all right, well, I'm not coming to you ever again. So I went to a knee specialist and they were doing some tests. The cool thing was that they were actually doing all of the diagnostic tests that they should have been doing. You know, like, does this angle work? Does this angle hurt? Can you move your knee? How does this feel? How's the pressure? And then you sort of tested like the hamstring strength. This is my hamstring. But yeah, tested my hamstring strength. And like on the side that I have an injury, it was like half as strong as the other half because of the pain. I couldn't like push past that point, which means, okay, we've got some data, and he came to teach me, I came to learn that I've got a tear on my PCL, and a PCL is not just like a cool way that young hip people say pickle, although I do find myself in a pickle when it comes to this knee injury. Oh crap, what is it? PCL. Hey Siri, what's a PCL?
Your posterior cruciate ligament, PCL, runs along the back of your knee and connects your thigh bone to the top of your lower leg bone. This is from...
Okay, yeah, cool. So basically it's like, it stops your shin bone from like dipping back behind your thigh. So this is your femur, this is your tibia, and it stops it from falling back. But because I fell onto it, I fell on my knee during a basketball game, it kind of cooked my leg. I got a proper diagnosis from the physio, and he was like, hey, get an MRI, get it checked out. I was able to use my other day off to be like, all right, cool, like let's suss it out. And an MRI, like when you watch movies and you see people go through like the MRI machine, they're always like, you know, they're like, hey doc, what are you blah 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 blah, like while they're inside, as if they're talking to them.
This American Life, Myra Glass. Today's program, Puppy Love.
Which is like complete fiction, because the sound of an MRI, I haven't even Googled it, but when I was there, they were like, we're going to give you earplugs and we're going to give you headphones, and they were playing Smooth FM through the headphones, which was like, had these weird tubes that had like air running through it, because obviously you can't have any metal near a MRI machine, or you know, all the crazy stuff will fly around. That thing is insanely loud, like through the earplugs and the headphones. All I just hear was wah 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 wah. I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. I was tempted to like take off the headphones and listen to it, but the technician was saying that if I moved at all, I would need to redo the scan, and it takes like 15 to 20 minutes. So I was just like, okay, I'm just going to stay serious. I'm going to stay super still, and I'm just going to be a model patient. I had a look at it. I'm still yet to have a physio appointment as well to check it out. But from all the YouTube videos that I've looked at and all that stuff, it does look as though there is a tear. And so I just need to know, like, from their professional perspective, to what degree. You know, in saying that, just rehab, get healthy, do all that stuff, and then get back into playing basketball again and, you know, being able to sprint and do all that stuff. So on the path to recovery, I'd been given some rehab exercises to do as well. And I guess, like, for me, whenever I go to the gym, I want to, like, you know, focus on, you know, big compound lifts, like, you know, get a heavy lift in so that my ego can be satisfied. And then also, I guess just like, you know, target areas that I want to look aesthetic, you know, like round out some shoulders or get some abs going on or whatever. But these are like, do single leg isolations where you focus on like targeting areas of the quad And I'm like, man, this is painful. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to it, but also if that's the price I need to pay in order to get back into playing sport, I don't really care. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it diligently because, you know what I say? Obviously, if you can't play basketball, like twist, turn. Oh, yeah, sorry. So your PCL is also like, it's like the biggest ligament in your knee. And that helps you to stabilize any torsion, so like any twisting and turning motion. And then it also helps to keep the bone as well. So when I say, for example, sprint, I would be producing a lot of pressure or a lot of like explosive force, and it would bend the knee back, and also it would kind of, sort of separate from like, the ligament and that kind of stuff. So it just puts some pressure on it, which is not a good thing to do. And then also if I go into a deep squat, it's also just like impacting the knee joint. So by physio's orders, I'm just making sure that I follow the rules that they've set so that I can heal as quick as possible. Apparently I'm cleared to run. So I don't, like, as long as it's not like high intensity running or like a lot of twisting and turning and that kind of thing. So I can do volume jogging, which is fine. And at least I can do 7K, 10K or whatever, just to keep myself active. Otherwise, if you sort of a rolling stone collects no moss kind of situation, can't let the active mind just sit still and then just start getting rusty. So I just need to keep the body moving. Which leads me, no, it doesn't lead me at all, but moving on to the next thing is taking time off work. I feel like taking time off work as an adult is weird. It's really weird because everyone else who is a working adult, as part of the 9-to-5 full-timers, whatever it is, everyone else is working. And so, if you're forced to take time off when no one else is also taking time off, or people in your household, you're out of sync with everything, with everyone. And so it's kind of weird, especially if you're quite an extroverted person and you like to spend a lot of time with other people. If you're the only person who's just free and then nobody else is free, you're like, oh, what do I do? And I think it also impacts me more because I've lost the ability to do high physically strenuous activity like sports and stuff like that. So it's not really like I can do anything physical or fun. I just need to be at home and rest and relax and chill, which it's just a weird thing on its own. I think that taking time off work is good, but then also without having any plans, you kind of just sit there and be a bit bored and be a bit restless and have nothing to do, which isn't in its own self is actually really good for you to have. Oh, that's a complete contradiction to what I just said before about running and moving around. Having nothing to do is good because then you can start to embrace the boredom and come up with creative things that you're really interested, or find ways to express yourself. Okay, boom, which is perfect because it leads to the next thing, which is what I've been trying to do a lot more of. I guess growing up, I've seen my dad, he sees materials and he goes, okay, you know what? I think I can make this thing. It could be anything. Growing up, seeing him go, all right, cool, I've got an idea for this thing. And then he, draws a little bit on paper and then he just creates it. I feel like in my mind, I was like, okay, cool, that's pretty normal. That's what people do when they have an idea of something that they think is really cool. He would do a lot of welding and kind of creating things, and it just looked simple enough. So obviously when I had the chance, I was able to get a welding machine off of Facebook Marketplace. And I've just been practicing since, and now I'm getting a little bit better at welding. So I can do right angles pretty decently now. And I guess I'm just learning as I go because I've made so many mistakes when it comes to welding. But I'm slowly getting a little bit better, which I feel like is pretty cool. So what I tried to do last time like a few months ago, I had all this stuff that's stacked away in the garage, and kind of like, you know, haphazardly just, I just wanted to redo the garage shelving to make it a little bit more, I guess, like systemized, a little bit more organized. So what I'd done originally was, it was just like two bars here, and then I just like rested pieces of wood on it, and then as you put the wood on it, it keeps it stable. Now, it's a very dodgy way of me doing it. So as I welded it together, it was just basically a tiny single point, and when it comes back and forth, it'll stick together, but any rotational force, it will just separate, and then the whole structure starts to fall apart. So I've learnt my lesson. I cut into it a little bit more, secured it in, and then I'd welded all the way around it, and it's a little bit better. There's like now 2 structures on each side, and I'm planning to get like a long running piece across of it, so that I can create like these shelves in this kind of upside down U situation. Like I said, I'm slowly getting better. I feel like I'm sort of judging myself a little bit less for it, and I've got a bit more of a realistic time frame for how long things take, because that stuff takes ages. I mean, you know, if you're looking to cut 2 things together, you know, it's probably like, you know, 5 to 10 minutes just to like cut into a section of steel, and then you have to clean off the edge to put the other piece of steel on it, and then you have to, and that takes like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. So 15 minutes right there, and then you have to like get the welding stuff, and then you have to like weld it in place, and you have to check it and see if it's all good, and then you have to like move it and do the other side as well to keep it stable. So like even just a small bit like that will take you like 20 to 25 minutes. Yeah, I think just like tapering my expectations for how long things are going to take is it's a smart idea. I think, yeah, that's really that. Those are the 3 things that I just wanted to talk about. Thanks for coming along and joining and stuff like that, because this is a channel where you get to experience that from me. The stuff, the ramblings of a man who is injured his knee. But that's really that. Obviously, sorry for the squeaky chair. I'll try and oil it later. I get the WD-40 going on. Well, yes. That's the quick updates. That's from me. Wanted to touch in. So, thanks for watching.